Good morning. Welcome to Behaviour for Saturday, goodness gracious, I don't even know what the date is. I think it's the 20th. Yeah, that was a bit of a struggle. I actually snapped my Achilles tendon last Saturday, which is unfortunate. According to a nurse I spoke to, I probably did a slight tear when I played at the Wanganui Masters tournament earlier this year, and then it sort of hadn't healed properly, and then I'd been training and was playing in a pre-season game last Saturday, and snappo. Yeah, it was quite a shocking experience, actually. It made like a loud snapping noise, and then I was just sort of lying on the ground with a weird buzzing feeling in my ankle, and then I was carried to the sideline, and then went to A&E, and they confirmed that there was serious damage. And yeah, it's put a bit of a spanner in the works. But yeah, these things happen. You can't. At least my leg didn't get chopped off or something. That's the way you got to look at it. Because otherwise, you can get a little bit down in the mouth. Start thinking that you've got a hard lot. Yeah, I'm just putting an update on Facebook saying that this is on Arrow. Yeah, and yeah, we'll start things off with a little bit of music. I must recommend a comedy show that I quite like. I've been a fan of for a couple of years now, and they actually got their own Netflix deal last year called Auntie Donna. They're these three Aussie guys, and I think there's also a woman involved in their crew now as well, and they're all pretty funny, and they get guests in as well, but they're pretty off-the-wall humour. Yeah, something a bit different. If you're bored of your regular sort of laugh fare, I recommend checking out Auntie Donna. It's a little bit twisted at times, but you need a bit of that, eh? And I could, I'll just find, I wonder what one that is. Is that Ox or Phones Spare? Right. Let's get the right one going here. Yeah, Auntie Donna. Good show. A little bit weird, a little bit good. Worth a watch. So the Achilles tendon, I found out that it was first written about maybe in like the 1700s by a Dutch doctor, named obviously for the Greek mythical hero Achilles, who was dipped in the river Styx by his mother as a child to make him impervious to harm, but she held him by the ankle, and somehow his enemies found out about this at the Battle of Troy and shot him in the ankle with a poisoned arrow. Isn't it funny how these little tidbits of information that you don't want to get out sometimes get out? In Achilles' case, it led to him dying, even though he'd pretty much been just laying waste to the Trojans prior to that. But yeah, the bad news for the Trojans is that, according to oh my goodness, who wrote the Iliad? Oh, I can't believe I've forgotten his name. Homer. According to Homer, the Trojans lost anyway, because they took the old horse into the castle there. Bad idea, chaps. Odysseus and his fellows absolutely massacred the entire city, besides a few people. And then Odysseus went off on a bit of a journey around the Mediterranean. Fought the Minotaur, fought the Cyclops. Made it home, killed 30 men who were trying to spade his wife, or get into his marital bed, and then lived happily ever after. Odysseus, after his Odyssey. I read the Iliad and the Odyssey as a 8-year-old, actually. Luckily, they had a really cool version of it with amazing illustrations at the Flaxmere Public Library, which I managed to happen upon one day when I was down there looking around, and great story for a youngster, full of heroic deeds, intrigue, and all sorts of other stuff that really I don't know, stuff that just tickles your fancy when you're a youngster like that. We're going to play a song now. This is an artist that I don't know, I've been a fan of for quite a while. And maybe a song that you haven't heard before. It could be. This is Cooler Shaker, and they're going to be singing a song called Govinda, which is quite cool. It's a bit of a nod to a Hindu god, I think. Cooler Shaker are another English band who are enticed by the Eastern religions. I think maybe they even went out there to India and got amongst it, like the Beatles, sort of following in the footsteps of their musical forebears. Here's Cooler Shaker with Govinda. Yeah, Cooler Shaker Govinda. Yeah, pretty good album, that one. Not too bad. I mean, yeah, it's a bit hit and miss, that. It was off their album. I think it was just Cooler Shaker, actually. Yeah, it's got a few good tracks on it. Yeah, well, anyway, the big news in Wairarapa this week is the resignation of Jane Davis, CEO of Carterton District Council, moving on to greener pastures in Christchurch City Council, as it turns out. She's done a pretty good job over the years, I think. I personally, I disagreed with the amount she was paid, but, you know, I suppose in the end, you have to look at the way that Carterton District Council were run, and they were run pretty well, I think, you know, but the collaboration between the councillors, the mayor, and the executive staff, despite what do seem quite high wages for such a small district, they did get the job done. And I did speak to a lot of builders and developers and other tradespeople and those sorts of people who actually found the Carterton District Council over the years has been the easiest to deal with in terms of development and other such things, building inspectors and so on. Hopefully she does all right at the new job there, and Carterton can find a suitable replacement on. I mean, their wage structures are all publicly available on the Carterton District Council website if you're interested. Though she was paid $214,000 for the year of 2019, she did take a pay cut in 2020 down to $185,000, I think it was, which is good money if you can get it in Carterton. That's all I'm going to say. And considering I think the median wage in Carterton is around $40,000, so yeah, not too bad there. But yeah, apparently it's a high pressure role with a lot of stress managing the council there, and yeah, you just have to take their word for that. Maybe they could look at hiring someone on a little bit less this time around, but then you get a lot of naysayers who start talking about how, well, if you do that, you're just not going to get the right candidate for the job. You're competing with the private sector. And then again, it's like, well, are you really competing with the private sector? I don't think so, because it's a public sector job that's reasonably safe if you're at all competent. So perhaps we should be looking at paying people in these public sector roles something a little bit more feasible. Like, I mean, I think perhaps the $185,000 wage she received in 2020 is a little bit more apt, and maybe even perhaps slightly less than that. I mean, it's a small council with a small district with a small population, ratepayers numbering only 3,000 in the district. I think the executive in charge of that district should possibly be happy with about $175,000 a year, which is still, that's not bad money, you know, is it, really? I mean, there are people who will scoff at that wage because they probably get like $500,000 a year, and they might even be listening to this radio show. But, you know, I think managing a small district like Carterton, yeah, you know, 175, yeah, you're pretty happy. Yeah, you got to put in a day's work. You know, you've got a bit of a nest egg at the end of the year, possibly, if you manage your money well. You know, I mean, I know people who save a lot of money and they're on $60,000 a year, or $70,000 or $80,000, or even less if you're prudent. I mean, yeah, so as for this competing with the private sector nonsense, I just think it's, I'm sure you're going to be able to find someone who needs a job, you know, or what do? You just promote one of the other executives who are already on exorbitant wages? Nah. going off on a bit of a rant here. But, Carterton District Council wage bill has increased in the last, I think, how long was it now? I think it was 15 years by like $1.2 million. So, yeah, I mean, I suppose the population's gone up a little bit. There's a bit more going on, but I think about $700,000 of that is executive staff that didn't used to exist, funnily enough. But apparently they need to exist now. These are the mysteries of council. Right, might play another tune, and we might go to a phone call later, have a chat to someone, but I've got to decide who that's going to be. And as always, I'm trying to bring songs to people's ears they may not have heard, so I'll try and play something a bit different. I should have all the stuff queued up, and I should have, but I've been a little bit preoccupied with playing chess on chess.com, actually. Let's be truthful here. I was going to say that I'd been busy with something else that's important, but I hadn't really been. I mean, it's about mental exercise, chess. And, you got to keep your brain sharp, ticking over, so you're ready for, just in case, a flock of birds attacks your house. All that practice on chess.com is going to enable me to figure out a strategic way of battling those birds with a rake. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to play a song here by a band that I'm a big fan of, actually. And I've just got to decide which song it is and which band it is, because whatever song it is... Oh, actually... We're going to play a little bit of Gang of Four, because Andy, what the hell's his name again? Andy Gill died February 1st this year. Oh no, actually, when did he die? Did he die last year? I think he died last year. No, he died this year. Oh no. Okay, I'm getting this mixed up. Well, either way, Andy Gill died, and he's just like a musical visionary. He's sort of influenced with his band Gang of Four, was a major influence on the evolution of popular music and even unpopular music, for that matter. Some people don't really like their sound. I'm a fan of it. I like what he was doing with the guitar here and the band, and I like the sentiment as well of the song. It's At Home He's a Tourist by Gang of Four, and here it is.
They
How's that? Probably an acquired taste for some people, but yeah, I think that's a top tune, actually, to be honest. And yeah, the band themselves, Andy Gill and his band, were extremely influential, you know, and could count among their fans such luminaries as David Bowie, Gary Newman, the members of Massive Attack, Rage Against the Machine, System of a Down, the Idols. Yeah, a lot of people. Damien Hirst, the artist. If you've not heard of Damien Hirst, check him out. Really interesting story there. He actually acquired a Gang of Four album when he committed a burglary on a house, and he stole a bunch of albums and found Entertainment among it, and had a listen and was like, "Man, this is the business." And he was a fan from then on, and he ended up. Yeah, really cool. Interesting band, interesting sound, and definitely extremely influential in the years that followed their notoriety. They're from Leeds. Leeds has given us many things. Interesting part of the world. Leeds United being one of them, the football club. And yeah, I mean Leeds. Yeah, Damien Hirst is also from Leeds. I'd definitely, if you haven't heard of Damien Hirst, give him a Google, have a look at it. He's definitely a controversial figure over the years. Yeah, and so yeah, my friend Smitty just actually texted me, and he said he's getting an op on his broken finger this week. He was advised by a few friends when he hurt it that, they can't do much about it, mate. And even someone at the pharmacy told him as well. And as it turned out, that wasn't good advice. And it partially healed, and now it's not in a good way. And I think they're just going to have to chop it open and fix it up or break it or something. Ooh. So it just goes to show. Go see a medical professional if you injure yourself, like I did last Saturday when I snapped my Achilles, and it made it was really, the loud snapping noise was the thing, and the feeling of when it happened was the shocking thing, really. It was like someone had smacked me on the back of my leg, and I turned around and there was no one there, and I was lying on the ground and my heel was buzzing like it had some sort of electric shock therapy being done on it. Yeah. And I did go to A&E, and yeah, it was a good thing I did. Because I don't know, a few years ago, when you're a bit younger, you might be a little bit silly, and you might think, I don't know, I'll just go tomorrow. I'll just go to A&E tomorrow, it'll be fine tonight. Have a few beers with the lads, hobble around. And that's apparently when, in a lot of cases, is when the most damage is done with the Achilles, is people deciding that it's not that bad and trying to get about as best they can. Frequently they damage it more than it already is, and it just leads to a much longer healing process. Yeah, so right, we might we'll continue to talk. I didn't actually. I was going to ring someone for an interview, and then I've decided not to. I'm just going to keep playing music this morning, and I don't know. There would have been people out there maybe who had heard of Gang of Four before, but here we go. We might play a little bit of. We'll play a poem by Jim Morrison from his poetry and music album called An American Poet, I think it was called, with the Doors. And this poem in particular was actually made into a quite famous electronic track by a man called Fatboy Slim. Well, what's his real name again? What's his real name again? I can't recall. I'll remember his real name in a moment. But this is the poem anyway. It's quite good. It's Bird of Prey, the original poem.
Bird of prey, flying high in the summer sky. Bird of prey, flying high, gently pass on by. Bird of prey, flying high, am I going to die? Bird of prey, flying high, take me on your flight.
How's that? Pretty good, eh? Yeah, so, Fatboy Slim turned that into a bit of a anthem, I suppose you could call it. Maybe an anthem? Nah, it's just a great tune. His rejigging of it. It's worth a listen if you're interested. I actually was lucky enough to hear it live a couple of years ago in Napier at the Mission Estate. Was it the Mission? Oh, it was one of those vineyards. Yeah, good day out. Fatboy Slim really, he was into it. He put on an excellent show, and everyone left pretty happy, I think. Well, I did anyway. There were a few drunk louts having a bit of a fight, and he gave them a bit of a verbal barrage from the stage, which is good. And but the there's I did notice an interesting piece of news this week is that the Brazilian left-wing former president, is it Lula? I think that's what he's called for short, was actually, he'd been awaiting charges. I think he'd been in serious trouble with the judicial system in Brazil for a number of years, and it had sort of scuppered his presidential bid for re-election a few years ago, and which led, of course, to old Bolsonaro getting into office, and his presidency has just been one pretty chaotic and disastrous. Especially the reaction to COVID, which has now seen currently, apparently the Brazilian hospital system is completely overwhelmed with coronavirus cases. And I know there's a few skeptics out there, but, look at the evidence. I mean, are these people all pretending that they've got coronavirus? Or is someone infecting with them deliberately with coronavirus? I mean, you hear all these conspiracy theories, and it just gets a bit annoying, really. I mean, it's like the thing that conspiracy theorists, I think, have to realize and register in this day and age is that the human population is now at a level where this type of viral infection is only going to continue to happen. We just have the amount of people now and the amount of bacterial variation that it's there's a much higher possibility of viruses and diseases like this spreading on a large, very, very large scale, especially with the way people travel now. Like in say 100 years ago, viruses may have been a lot easier to contain because people weren't flying backwards and forth across the earth constantly, coming into contact with people from 5,000 miles away, and these days they are, and that's why this virus has been such a problem, despite all the deniers out there saying, coming up with all these crazy theories about why, I'm not going to take the vaccine because, it might have something in it. And it's like, it's good to be wary of a vaccine, I think, just because, they're not always 100% safe. But by and large, I think that we can trust the medical establishment more than we can distrust them. And the fact of the matter is that vaccines have actually changed the world and have led to, modern development and technology and modern human existence being as it is today, despite what the naysayers might say. But, there's plenty of evidence out there that shows that vaccines have been a progression and not any sort of problem. And of course, you can never convince a conspiracy theorist. And I mean, in some ways, I don't mind that. I'm not here to tell people not to ask questions. I think it's good to ask questions. We're going to play another song now. And it's really curbed the songs that you might play. I mean, you can, the old don't play swearing directive. But, there's quite a few songs that have... But, I mean, I suppose if a song's got, like, one piece of swearing in it, it's not that bad, is it? Yeah, you like... I'm not going to play any symphonic death metal this morning, even though I'd like to, because I know that, there might be someone just waking up 10:37 a.m. on a Saturday. They've had a hard week. They don't want to listen to symphonic death metal. They want to listen to... Maybe they want to listen to... they might want to listen to Sufjan Stevens. Here's a good tune that I'm a fan of. It's called Wairarapa Lake Monster. It's interesting, and if you like it, check a bit more of Sufjan out. Interesting artist. I like his musical style. I think I like his voice. I like his sincerity. And here's Wairarapa Lake Monster, Sufjan Stevens.
As if you know the story of Wairarapa Lake, Leviathan first did in the deep, where her children sleep. She kept them hidden from the plague. But have you heard the story of my mother's fate? She left us in Detroit in the rain with a pillowcase, fortune for the paperweight. We followed her to Joseph near the Indian raid. She wept among the weeds, hide and seek for the fallen chief. Spathophyllum on his grave. And like the cedar waxwing, she was drunk all day. We put her in the sheet, little wreath, candles on the grate, as the monster showed his face. Children in the shade. Demigod, the ghost parade. No oblation will bring her back to our place. its shallow grave. She gave us one last feature, the fullness of her face, in the shade of him to your red Napoleon, as the demon took her place. And as we wait for the waters to reside, her remarkable stoicism and her pride, when the dragon submerged, we knew she had died.
Yeah, so that was Sufjan Stevens with Wallowa Lake Monster. I like that tune. Quite atmospheric. So the I mean, I suppose the big vaccine news in the last week or so was the blood clot issue in Europe, where a couple of people, 2 or 3 young people, experienced blood clotting in the brain. I think a couple of people died, and they think that there was concern that there was a link to the vaccine, but then, I mean, and so I think it was 18 countries suspended their vaccine programs, but then the European Medical Association has recommended that they reopen their their vaccination programs, because I think 19 million people had received vaccinations, and while it's terrible and sad that a couple of people died, I mean, you have to look at the numbers there and say that's really unfortunate. And and the benefits outweigh the risks, according to the EMA. The numbers for New Zealanders wanting to take the vaccine have increased from earlier this year. The latest Colmar Brunton poll said that 52% of New Zealanders, I mean, this is a poll, of course, but yeah, 52% said they would take the vaccine, up from 45% in December. 24% say they would probably take it, 10% say they would probably not, and 6% say they would definitely not. So we're still in an interesting position. I suppose in the end, the people who decide not to get the vaccine will be pretty safe anyway, because that's how vaccines work. If a lot of people get them, the chance of an illness spreading is reduced massively. But then, of course, the anti-vax people say, well, I didn't need to get the vaccine. But yeah, well, you know why you didn't need to get the vaccine? Because everyone else got the vaccine. That's why. But yeah, I'm being a bit ranty this morning. We're going to play one more song, then Indira's going to be on with her. She's going to play a song, I think. She's got a song that she wants to play, and also she's going to give us a little update on what's happening for her at Kuranui College, and also there's an event that she's heading along to this afternoon, which I'll let her talk about. But in the meantime, we're going to play this last song from me today, and it's going to be... What is it going to be? What was the last song? Walla Walla Lake Monster. Maybe we're going to just play something a little bit happier now. We might play... Or maybe it's time for some really heavy metal or something. No, maybe not. Maybe it's time for a bit of Turkish psychedelic. No, we'll leave that till next week. Maybe we'll go with a bit of... I much prefer deciding music on the fly rather than having wow, J Electronica took all his music off Spotify. And it's still off. That's lame. Right, we're not going to be playing J Electronica. If you haven't heard J Electronica, really talented rapper from United States, you can access his stuff on YouTube, and there's one track by him that's really, really good that I urge people to listen to if they haven't heard it, and it's called what is it called again? I can't remember the name of it. It's called... Why isn't it there? It's weird. Okay, I can't remember what it's called, which is really helpful to people who might want to listen to it, isn't it? But yeah, this is quality radio right now. Me scrolling through my music collection to find a song to play. This is why people listen in. I know. We are looking for a song here. This is people will point to this part of the radio show and they say, "That's not very professional, Illya. What are you doing? What are you even doing on the airwaves if you're going to be running your show like this and you haven't even got a song queued up? You just, you're just making a mockery of the medium." And I'm going to say to that, can you not do that so loud there with the keyboard there, buddy? That's one thing I'm going to say to Indira, who's smacking her laptop.
There's no internet, so I'm playing the dinosaur game.
And, well, we might actually let Indira go on now. So, yeah, instead of a song, you just heard me talking a bit of crap for a while, looking for a song. Maybe I'll just scroll randomly and just play a song, and it'll be the first couple of minutes of it. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday. And it is Saturday. This is 7 days exactly from when I snapped my Achilles. And I think I'm more mentally at home with it now. And we're going to get, okay, what is it again? A, B, C. Okay, I think you're on C. Go talk, mate.
Hi.
Oh, there you are. So, tell us what's happening in your world, Indira.
Well, so I'm in about 7 or 6 weeks into school. And yeah. So, today, obviously, I'm going to an event.
You don't need to speak that close to the mic, mate. Just sort of there's good. Yep. And
the event is Relay for Life.
Oh, yeah, that's the Cancer Commission thing, is it? Or what is it again?
Fundraising for cancer. So
research.
I'm in, like, a group with my school.
Mm.
Basically, what you have to do, you have to, like, register, and then at the actual Relay for Life, they give you this, like, stick, and it counts how many laps you do. So the more laps you do, the more money you're fundraising. And
what if you just stand by the thing and wave the stick in front of it really fast?
No.
I think that might work. You should try it when no one's looking. And they'll be like, "Oh my goodness, this girl from Carterton's done 1,000 laps.
Okay, Dad. So.
Why not do it?
Dad, I'm talking, okay?
Okay, sorry,
This is like your radio show.
Yeah, I know it is. That's why I'm talking. No, okay, you talk.
And there's a little scoreboard, and you like see how many laps you've done. And this year the theme is pajamas, so I'm borrowing my friend's onesie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and we have to walk all night. Basically, you get there at about.
But don't you do it in
3.
like it's a relay, so one person goes, or 2 or 3 people go, and then another 2 or 3 people go.
We have like a roster.
And you have a nap at some point as well, don't you? Yeah,
and
so you're
it's
not
like it's about till 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they said to bring like cookies and chips and sugary foods to keep us awake.
No, you don't need that. You need some sarnies, a couple of good sarnies with a bit of meat and protein, some veggies.
They said to bring chips or
bananas.
Biscuits.
No, that's not good advice. Chips or biscuits aren't going to sustain you over a relay, mate.
I know, but that's
you
what
need
they
to take
said to
bananas,
bring snacky
maybe
foods.
some avocado for avocado on toast.
We're not going to have a toaster, Dad.
Why not?
We're not just having toasters. And but there's also I need to bring some money.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, because I want some dinner. I need to buy my own dinner, Dad.
Oh, so they've got people selling food there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, isn't it? So what song did you want to play this morning, mate?
I want to play...
Can you sit back from the mic a little bit? You don't need to talk right up at it like that.
Useless by Omar Apolio. I don't actually know how to say his name.
Oh, I hope this is not a song that has a negative sentiment attached to it, Indira. Omar Apollo. Okay, here it is. We're going to play it right now. Alright, let's check it out. Oh, that was a goodie. Yeah, I like that track, Indira. Good choice. Yeah, what's happened? We haven't finished yet. You got to tell us about what's going on at Kuranui. What's happening at school at the moment? I heard someone broke into the band room.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't really know. Someone
Some miscreants. climbed through the window and messed everything up.
Someone trashed the drum set.
Yeah, that's no
The
good.
electric drum set, though. But
So maybe they were some sort of like acoustic drum set fan, and they hate electric drums, and so they just trashed the electric drums because they were like, "We hate electric drums. We're against technology."
yeah, but also it could have been. I don't really know, but I don't want to get into it because it's bad. So anyway,
yeah. Well, that's
what
just
else? Something else that has happened is
just try and, with the mic, you don't need to come forward and backwards. You just need to stay a little bit closer than you are. About there is good.
what else has been happening? So, I don't think like any of my friends listen to this radio show, but shout out to Aria for breaking the Kuranui record for what was it? I don't even know what it was. Like high jump or something.
Oh, high jump. That's good. Broke the record.
Yeah, she broke the record, and she's year 9.
Oh, that's amazing.
She also run like 4 laps with a bunch of year 12 boys, and she like came 4th or something. I don't know.
Wow, she sounds like a bit of an athlete extraordinaire. That's cool. Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, there's probably. I mean, I'd be. Yeah, this show probably doesn't appeal to people your age and era. So you'd be. I mean, but it is a podcast, so maybe you can play this. You can get them to listen to the podcast and say fast forward right to the end, and I'll mention your name on it and do that. But I'm going to play one more song because we've got 3 minutes left, and it's going to be a song by a band. I was going to play it last week actually, but now I'm going to play it this week, and it's a song that I'm a big fan of. Where is it? I can't find it. Can you not do that clapping, mate? See discography. Okay, where is? I can't believe this is the what? What is this? No, we don't want any of these later releases. What we want is this album. Yes, finally we found it, and we're going to play this song. This is Electric Funeral by Black Sabbath from their album Paranoid, which was released in 1968 or
1979.
What a great tune, eh? I love that change. Yeah, thanks for listening today. Signing off. Good evening and good night. Good day. And have a good week and a good year. A good decade. And hopefully, yeah, that's it. Good day.